Welcome back, Jobins, to another episode of What the X. This is WTX, episode 36. I appreciate all you Jobins that have tuned in and been supporting. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. It really helps out. We've gotten a few more subscribers. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much, Jobins. So we're going to go into a little bit of a different thing for this format for this episode, because instead of going over a whole bunch of different tweets, we're just going to focus on one community. And they have their own page on X. And Jobins, I'm sure, and just anyone watching in general, I'm sure that you already know of the term incel, or involuntary celibate. But believe it or not, the incels have their own X page or X handle, and they have 26.9 thousand followers. So that's a lot of that's an army of incels right there. And they have been an official page on X or Twitter at that time since, Jobins, believe it or not, 2018, which I feel like is around the time that I first started hearing the word incel in today's lexicon, I guess you could say, in the language of today. But we're just going to kind of get an idea of their rhetoric, what they say, and kind of how they view the world, their outlook. Viewer discretion is advised, I guess I should say, right off the bat, because, it is a little bit of a troubling community. I don't agree with a lot of, mostly almost all of what they have to say. Every now and again, they might say something that kind of makes sense, but a lot of it is just kind of baked in misogynistic ideas and shallow there's a lot of shallowness to everything that they're going to say. But we're going to start it off with a first tweet by Involuntary Celibate at incels.is. Again, 26.9 thousand followers, pretty crazy. And they have thousands of posts on their X page. But this is their first tweet by Involuntary Celibate, the page. The truth is that your face is your personality. People will assume your personality traits solely based on the way that you look. And it's an interesting one, because I don't think it's all the way wrong. I think there is that, this is kind of a reoccurring theme in the whole incel dialogue, is the victim is like they see themselves as the victim. They play victim in like everything that they say, which is problematic, because you should also be introspective and be able to see the things in yourself that maybe you need to work on. And I feel like the involuntary celibates, these incels, tend to be the victim, play the victim role, and just blame all of their shortcomings, the things that are holding them back, on others and society in general, rather than looking at themselves. But I will say this, there is that phrase, don't judge a book by its cover, because, appearances tell people a lot. That's like one of our primary senses, right? Is sight, vision, to take in that information through our eyes. So of course, when you look at someone else, attractiveness is going to be something that is factored in. And then that could lead to certain assumptions of like, oh, that person takes care of themselves. Look how good they look. Or, oh my God, that person doesn't take care of themselves. Look how big they are, or how, bad their skin is. Things like that. But that one is probably one of the more tame tweets. The truth is that your face is your personality. I would also argue that, there's more to a person than how they look, of course. There's one thing that I will say is that they like to play victim, as we'll see throughout these tweets. But with that whole victim mentality, it's like they can't even conceive of the idea that these men that are more attractive than them might also have, dare I say, better personalities. Because I've known a lot of guys that like you know, have game, can get with the birds, but at the end of the day, they they lose that girl or it doesn't work out because their personality starts to shine through. And then can you blame anyone for being with an attractive person that also happens to have a great personality? So don't play the victim role if not only are you not as good looking as the people that you're jealous and insecure of, but you're also not even as good a person and your personality is shit. Because I feel like a lot of incels honestly have really bad personalities. And that only compounds the issue that maybe they are typically unattractive. I just don't think it helps to not have a good personality either. And I think this first tweet's very telling of the incels themselves, of that community, rather than some kind of ultimate truth that they're trying to say about attractiveness. Moving on, the second tweet from Involuntary Celibate: women not being attracted to their Looksmatch is the true cause of the male loneliness epidemic. As I was saying before, a lot of blame, a lot of victimization. You know, I'm the victim, poor me. The reason that men are so lonely in today's world, in today's society, is that women aren't attracted to their looks match. And Jobins, you might be wondering, what the hell even is a looks match? This is incel slang. This is incel slang. I looked this up on onelook.com, one look thesaurus, and it says looks match, incel slang. A person of equal ranking to another on a scale of physical attractiveness. So it's essentially just saying that, women don't go for their looks match, or the men that would be on the same level of attractiveness as themselves. So that's the woman's fault. And again, you know, this is kind of I can even go into a little personal story here too, Jobins. You know, I am happily engaged right now with a amazing woman, but there was a time when I too was a struggling single man who, or you know, that was not getting girls to like him back. Rejection is a common theme also in the incel community. And I, as a short king, I like to consider myself a short king. And another thing, reframe, you know, confidence. See yourself as something better. Don't limit yourself or restrain yourself. And then because going even back to that first tweet about your face is your personality. Like, you can take care of yourself and be a better version of yourself. And that also includes, you know, your own body too. Like, yes, some people have different metabolisms, bone densities. There's a lot of genetic factors that go into how you look, right? But you can still work out and still diet. There's a lot of things that you do have control of, that you get to do. You don't have to work out. You get to work out. You don't have to eat healthy. You get to eat healthy. So what I'm trying to get at here is that you know, you can get more people to be, you can get more of the opposite sex to be more attracted to you if you put in the work to get there. And also, like I was saying also before, develop that personality too, because unlike what these incels are saying, you know, it's a lot more than just attractiveness. You also have to, I feel like, be able to laugh with somebody, be able to you know, carry a conversation and get along with whoever your significant other is, or who you want it to be. You know, those are things that you need to like work on. So I don't want to blame women for not getting with their looks match. And how I was trying to relate that back when I was single myself is, and being a short king, is I would always get upset with the short girls. You know, I'd always be like, oh, well, she's my height. Why she got to be dating the guy that's 6'5" or 6'4"? And then it's so easy being a tall guy. And, you know, I had all these insecurities and all these things about society that I didn't care about. And then it made me an angry person. And what did it do? I think it chipped away at a good personality. You know, I feel like I have a great personality when I'm not being down on myself or having these negative outlooks, not feeling like a victim, not playing that victim role, and then improving upon myself, you know, because No one's going to love you if you don't love yourself. And that's something that I had to struggle with throughout high school and college too. A huge part of college too. I had one girl that told me I was too short, to my face like that. And I broke down and cried afterwards, Jovens. This is a real story. If I had my roommate Brock here, he could confirm that story because he was there afterwards and he said it was going to be okay. Either way, all I'm saying, Jovens, is that I was in this victim mentality, but it's like, no. Those people, those women, they weren't the ones. There's gonna be the one if you keep throwing your shot out there. The one thing that they do talk about in the incel community is a lot of rejection. And yeah, you could look at, because I know some guys who just have it really easy with getting girls to be like, damn, look at that guy. And then getting a number, not having to go up to the girls or whatnot. Not really, as you might say, needing a personality. But like I said, those things, those are just one-time flings, shallowness. It's not a deeper fulfillment within a relationship. But don't play the victim role. Don't be like, oh, it's the woman's fault. It's not the short girl's fault that they went for the taller guys. It just is the fact that I wasn't top G enough. It's like, what can I improve on to be? And yeah, there is preferences. There is obviously, I've heard the line from, I'm not going to say names or anything, but one girl was like, that we might know, was like, oh, I would never talk to a guy that's under 6 feet tall. So, I mean, yeah, if you're under 6 feet tall and there's a girl like that, that's just not the girl to talk to. And she's probably not that good of a person anyways. So, maybe it's a blessing in disguise, the rejections that you do receive, because those people were never right to begin with. And I say people, even though we're talking about incels and we're talking about men, women also can be lonely. So I just want to make sure that everyone knows that the more you improve on yourself and the confidence you instill in yourself is going to come through, and people will see that. And then you will see that too. I'm sorry if I'm a little too guru about it or preachy about it, but I feel like I've been doing my best since having a different mindset and not playing victim, but playing, what's another word that I'd like to use instead? So it's more uplifting and encouraging when it's like, hey, I have a goal that I can strive to. There's optimism. Keep an optimistic mind, because you can do so many more things if you're positive about who you are and what you can achieve. So, yes, that was a lot on that second tweet. But really, I don't think women not being attracted to their looks match, whatever the hell you want to how you even would even grade that, it's not the cause of male loneliness epidemic. If it were up to me on the factors that I could list out, I would say that it has a lot more to do with the internet and social media, the isolation that we have with cell phones and things that we don't have to be in person as much anymore to talk to each other. That to me has caused, and this is just a loneliness epidemic. I don't want to just like give it a sex and say it's a male loneliness epidemic. I also think female loneliness epidemic too. I think there's just a lot of loneliness in general that is because of today's society and technology, a lot more with the technology aspect and all, and then you got people that are, just as upset or whatnot. And what are they doing? They're talking to each other. I couldn't imagine a 19-year-old Brendan fresh off of a rejection from a girl that he thought was cool. And then now he's got another Brendan here telling him, blah, 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 women are bad, blah, 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 blah. I'm just saying, all those negative voices also is scary, like these echo chambers that get created. And that's another reason I just want to go into looking at different communities on X and can kind of going over their tweets and going over their mindsets and just trying to analyze why they are that way, or not maybe understand, as much as we can try to understand, because I feel like that's how we can reach across the aisle maybe and have a healthy dialogue if we're being empathetic and trying to understand where these people are coming from, or men, I should say, in this instance, and just being like, hey, what if you just reframed it like this? Because I feel like there's a lot of non-violent incels out there that could have a lot better, healthier lives if they went away from this community. Because I think 26.9 thousand followers on Involuntary Celibate's X page is one too many. So I hope that that number goes down, and I hope that positive mindsets can spread. But we're going to go to the next tweet. We're going to move on. Remember that she will make it very easy for you if she's attracted to you. Cold approaching doesn't work. And I included this tweet, Jobins, because I thought that this one, and it's kind of relating to everything that we have already been talking about. This is kind of just one long conversation we're having here about the Incels X page. But I actually thought that was good advice, in the fact that it's like, don't chase something that's not coming to you. Don't look desperate. You know, I feel like I've made that mistake. Middle school, high school, college, looking desperate, trying to pursue women that clearly were not interested, and it wasn't happening. So cold approaching doesn't work. I agree with that statement. Sometimes, you know, you throw enough mud, something's going to stick to the wall. And don't be too negative. Don't have that victim mentality. Don't have the give up mentality. Have hope. Know that you can, that there's women out there that aren't going to be shallow bitches, that actually will like you for your personality and for you being in shape. I not just physical shape, which is something that you should work on, but mental shape, you know, the mental health, the loving yourself part of it all. So, yeah, don't go after, you know, women that aren't interested. Go after someone that's just as interested as you are in them. And this is something you might, if you're ever at the club with the boys, you know, and then you see one homie is trying to talk to this one girl, just talking. I've seen this in real life. Talking. Nothing happens there, right? And then you got your other boy over here, and he's not even saying anything. He's got his drink. He's jamming out, and the girl's already got her hands on his knees, looking into his eyes. That's a clear indicator, you know? It's like, and the club's a more expedited scenario, too, because that's when it's like, at least from what I see from the game, because I'm not going to act like I got any game. I'm going to be honest. I'm happy that I do have, you know, a girl tying me down. But it's a very quick lifestyle. So it's like, you got to be like that, you know, hitting your marks. If you want to get with the lady before, you know, the night's over, to where talking, she's not really interested, you should just ditch her. Just ditch her. Go to the next. And then that's where it can be hard, though, right? Because of the aspect of rejection. But if you can overcome the rejection and just be like, hey, that's another at-bat. That's another at-bat. And you still have the confidence, that's the key part, too. You got to maintain your confidence. And on top of all that, I would recommend taking good care of yourself, something I'm always working on and can always do better on, still working on it. It's taking care of yourself mentally, spiritually being a big one too, and you'll see that things will fall together, I feel like. So that's on that one. Don't approach someone that's not interested. It's just a waste of time. Throughout my own experiences, Jobins, if you have a difference in opinion and you think that you should pursue, even when it's cold shoulder, I don't think so, but let me know why in the comments. I'm always here for differing opinions. Well, you know, please keep up the engagement. And we're going to move on to the fourth tweet from Involuntary Celibate. Again, the brutal truth is that most average men are one breakup away from being an incel. Oh, that's funny too, because I was just saying that I was grateful for having, you know, a woman tying me down, someone that I love and that I can be myself around. That's a great thing. And honestly, even before I was with her, my confidence was still really high. I still had that spiritual aspect of myself, of the appreciation, you know, that rock mentality that I like too, that I'm trying to even frame a lot of things in. I don't have to do anything. I get to do things. So I try to keep that positive mindset as well. And even if, God forbid, the worst happens, and for some reason we're not together, it would be tough. It would be tough. If this is a serious relationship for me, I feel like she's my soulmate, so it would be really difficult, guys. It's not like I'm just gonna be like bulletproof and would just be just totally fine. I'd be crushed. But I don't believe I would become an incel because, at the end of the day, and I say at the end of the day a lot, I do apologize for that. But at the end of the day, I feel like I have that love for myself that you need. You need to have self-love, I feel like, which is the key thing that I would still hold on to. And then just being constantly trying to improve myself. That's always how it is still, even right now with being in a relationship. It's like, how do I become better than I was yesterday? So that's always something I'm always working on. But, maybe that's the case for some men, but if you have a positive mindset and you don't let things define you, you'll get through it. You'll get through it. If anyone that's going through a breakup or a rejection or anything, stay strong, king or queen. You guys can handle this. You'll be okay. You're not going to turn into incels. Don't listen to these fools. I'm going to go to the 5th tweet here. Femcels do not and will not ever exist. Just make a choice. So that tweet's interesting. Misogynistic, of course, because it's saying that femcels, the female version of an incel, as the name even kind of tells you. It's like, oh yeah, any chick can get with a guy. It's the guys that have it so tough. And would I say that men chase way more? And just through my own experiences, yeah, that probably looks that way. But also, I was just watching an episode of Kill Tony with the boys last night. And this heavier set guy that was doing a stand-up, his 1 minute, and he wasn't that funny, to be honest. But he was like, oh man, they were asking him questions after his 1 minute set. And he goes, I haven't kissed a girl in Texas yet. And then Tony's like, the host of the stand-up event is like, is anyone out there want to kiss this guy? And then what happens? A woman is nice enough to get up from her seat and actually go and give this guy a kiss so that he's not left standing there with the mic in his hand just waiting, not having anyone come up to kiss him. And what happens? She turns out, maybe you were going to guess this, Jobins, I don't know. She was a heavier set woman as well. Maybe you could say his Looksmatch. But what does he do? And it's funny because they're saying that women not being attracted to their Looksmatch is the cause of male loneliness epidemic. But what does this guy on Kill Tony do? He doesn't even commit to actually kissing the girl that came up to the stage because she's heavier. And that's not his type. And it's like, bro, you're like 300 plus pounds, heavier than she is, and she's too heavy for you. So we could always flip the script. And this tweet's just kind of total bullshit to me. Because femcels, I feel like they probably do exist. And it's probably girls, heavier set, maybe other ones that faces. There could be so many things for why you might not be deemed like on average or typical attractiveness. I don't want to be rude or mean to anyone. But I also don't want to discount that women can feel the same way that men can feel. So I would say incels do better, but I don't think incels should be a thing. I hope that ceases to become a thing in the future. But with the way that society kind of is snowballing and social media, the meta world, not seeing people in person, COVID vaccines, all these things keeping us isolated, we'll probably see more loneliness. We'll probably see this community grow. Right now it's at 26,000 Jobins, and this is the beginning of 2025. We're still in January. I feel like in 10 years, 2035, and maybe hopefully this video is still up, you'll see that number, that following has increased tenfold. That's my prediction. But we're going to move on to our last tweet, and it is, you are intelligent, nice, capable, empathetic, and likable. And if you put all those words together, intelligent, nice, capable, empathetic, likable, what do you spell? Incel. This tweet is, especially this one, I had to save it for the last. It made me laugh the hardest. The hypocrisy in it. The fact that these incels are calling themselves intelligent. They don't seem emotionally intelligent. They may have the numbers, science, other things like that, but the emotional intelligence doesn't seem to be there. The love for themselves isn't there. The spiritual intelligence isn't there. They're in their own bubbles. Nice. That's the second one in the incel acronym. Nice. Yeah, all these tweets aren't very nice. A lot of misogyny, a lot of victim role shit going on here. Capable. They don't seem capable of getting girls. So I don't even know why you'd put capable in there. Isn't the whole fact that it's involuntary, so it doesn't seem like you're capable at all. So you should take the C out of there too. Maybe replace capable with celibate. Then we got empathetic. Empathetic. So where's the empathy for the women? Where's the empathy for them? It seems like you're just empathetic towards guys that can't get laid. So incels, work on that. So empathetic. Yeah, that's funny. And then the last one, maybe the funniest to cap it off, is likable. If you were likable, you would not be following involuntary celibate incels.is at Incel Cope. That's the whole handle. I had to shout out the whole handle. 26.9 thousand followers. And that's scary. That's 26.9 thousand people that are most definitely not likable. And I don't want to shame the incel community or anyone that might be in the incel community. And if you follow and like my show and you identify as an incel, you can always comment too. I always like hearing perspectives from others. Obviously, we all have a very limited view of reality because we only get so much that we're, with our own senses, able to obtain. So anyone that wants to say anything or give your opinions on this whole community, on this episode, let me know. Let me know what other community you might want to look at next. Maybe not a problematic community. Maybe a community that's a good one that we could get some inspiring tweets from. You know, there's a whole range of groups that we can look at. So please stay tuned with me, Jobins. I can't wait to make another episode. This has been episode 36. WTX episode 36. What the X?